Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 170 of
How Married Are You? Oh,
should we start over?
My name Belief, this is Yvette, and we've been married
12 years.
Live in California, and we got
4 kids.
Relationships scary, it's very necessary. We share our love of struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and I don't know what that was about.
It's chocolate baby story time.
All right.
You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
So this morning I get out of the shower. I walk into my room. Glenn and Anaya are having snuggles. She is not feeling well. She came into our bed, I guess, or no, was it before? I think I came back from the gym and she was in our bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's going on here? And Glenn was explaining to me that she wasn't feeling well and she's been coughing and sneezing because she, whatever. And then Glenn goes, yeah, and she farted every time she sneezed. And then Anaya rolls over and looks at him and she's like, you heard that?
Like, yeah, I heard that. Crazy girl.
It was the comedic relief. It was just all very timely. It was so fun. And the way, did you see how she because at first she was laying and looking at me this way and Glenn was on that side, but then she went over and she was like, you heard that?
Yeah, just because you didn't hear it because you were sneezing, that doesn't mean I didn't smell it and hear it. Crazy girl. Yeah, so man, I don't know what happened, but Uriah woke up on one the other day. He woke up, put away all the dishes, took out all the trash, and he just went super, he was like, okay, because Theo got in trouble. Did I already do this one?
I wasn't sure because I was going to tell the whole thing about Raya, but I wasn't sure.
No, but last time, no, I didn't say this. Yeah, so Raya, he just was Theo was on punishment. He got in trouble. So he was not available. And so Raya was like,
I'm bored. I'm going to do.
He just did everything. He was like, yeah, it's simple. If you just do it, then it's out of the way. And I'm like, I don't like that, man.
You know what I think is happening? Because this morning he did the same thing. He finished emptying the dishwasher for me.
Okay, now.
And then he started loading the dishwasher.
Okay, I like that. So what I was saying is what I don't like is the one time. You do it one time and you just all of a sudden get a spurt of goodness, you know what I'm saying? And then
you consistent
because it's placebo. It's wait a minute, are you trying to be dependable? You know what I'm saying? Am I supposed to depend on this?
But can we talk about, okay, this is gonna be a triple chocolate baby story time. Can we talk about how Raya came downstairs dressed this morning?
Yeah, he looked like a kid in the Nickelodeon show.
Raya came downstairs wearing some sweatpants and a basketball jersey, and then he came down to put his Nikes on. And I was like, so what's happening? And he's like, I'm going to go outside and play basketball. And all of a sudden, he's into being in the NBA. So, yeah, it's interesting. It was a sight to see. Everyone commented on his looks this morning. He's handsome, though.
I am so sorry. I am burning up. It is hot in here.
Burning up. You do have on a very heavy sweater.
Turn on the AC.
Do you have a shirt on underneath this?
AC, please. I can't take it off.
Now I'm going to be cold.
The second episode.
Now everybody knows what you do.
That's fine. Yeah, Ryan was just crazy. I'm sorry. Let's do this. What are we talking about?
All right. So somebody sent an email and I thought it was actually really sweet. And it actually even more so was we are, we're not just talking to believers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're not talking to yeah.
We happen to be believers, but y'all be in here and you aren't necessarily aligned in beliefs. And I think, this is just a me issue and I hope I don't get us canceled or you guys be like, oh, she's done. But no, I guess when I think about who the wedding party is, I think that they are a reflection of us. And I'm realizing that the reflection isn't necessarily a one-to-one reflection. It's they see something in us that they connect with.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't have to be.
And it doesn't have to be God.
No,
or
no,
like,
I still think it's God. I'm saying it doesn't have to be like, okay.
Go ahead.
So
Touch me more.
Okay. So sometimes what happens is, and I tell people this all the time, when they're working on their brand, okay? I say, you can't choose why people rock with you, right? And so what happens is with so many artists and creatives, we're kind of like, man, I don't want to do photography. I want to do music, right? Or we go, I don't want to do, I don't want to be known as an actor or a rapper. I want to be known as an actor, right? And it's kind of like, well, if you do both, you're more likely to get people who like you for both of those things, or either or, but they'll still support you because you do the other, right? And I had that same thing happen to me with music, where I was like, I don't want to do music anymore because I don't want to be like, I was looking at these other rappers and I'm like, I don't like the way this looks and feels. You know what I'm saying? And so basically the best thing about a niche is that you can trickle down and say, okay, I am a black rapper / YouTuber who can make really dope cinematic stuff and spends time on my children's hair and my family's hair. Like I invest in my family's hair and pampering. Right. And if people who say, oh, well, I like pampering, I like to see men do that, then they would align with me and they would follow me for that. They might hate my raps. They may hate my videos. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think we niched down and some people see a version of themselves in us. Yeah. And that is treasure. Yes. And a gift. So thank you guys. Yeah. For your attention.
Thanks for being in the wedding party. We really hope, before we get into this, we really hope that we are going to see you guys on July 28th and 29th at the How Married Are You live event happening in
Go ahead.
Happening in Vista, California at the River Gardens. The River Gardens in and of itself is just a beautiful venue, but the company that's going to be there is even better. And so I really hope you guys know that the link is in the bio. Not in the bio.
Description.
Used to Instagram. The link is in the description below.
Or the show notes.
The tickets are for sale now. We have VIP tickets happening. You get to attend both Friday and Saturday. Yep. And then we have general admission tickets, which gets you in on Saturday morning. Now, VIP tickets are limited, so make sure you are, you're acting fast. We have some talent locked in that I know you guys are going to enjoy. So I really hope that you will make a concerted effort to join us and the rest of the wedding party.
Yes, Lord.
July 28th through 29th this year.
We're not playing.
We're not playing.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be grandiose.
Okay. All right.
That was a big word. But you know what?
Grandiose?
Is it grandiose? It's going to be grand. Y'all, it's going to be grand because you want to know something? The Lord has paved the way. He is just making everything as seamless as it can be. And I am grateful for that. Yeah, so dope. Let's get into this email. So my question is, I am a 22-year-old woman. I am not religious, but really in tune with my spirituality. I have sort of dated a little. I'm sorry, I'm going to make this bigger because my
always make it bigger.
Eyes. I am not religious, but really in tune with my spirituality. I have sort of dated a little, the longest relationship I've been in being 6 months. Ever since high school, I always knew it was important for me. Now, there is something coming up that I really need help understanding. It was important for me to wait to have sex until I was in love with someone and in a committed relationship. When I was seeing someone for 6 months, we did get to third base, but not fourth base since I wanted to wait. So my question is, what is first, second, third, and fourth base? Because I am lost. What's first base?
I don't know.
Shoot.
I think first base is kissing.
A second base.
I think it's like grabbing a titty or something.
Third base.
I think that's masturbating. I don't know.
All right, really quick.
That's like a very...
I should have Googled this before we started. I apologize.
You better put it on incognito.
Oh, yeah, let me do file incognito.
Couldn't get yourself a freaking STD on your computer.
Because she was saying this, and I was like, well, wait a minute. What is third base? Wait, what?
What is?
Okay, so first base is kissing and making out.
All right, I was one for three.
Second base is touching above the waist.
Grabbing a titty.
Okay. Third base is stimulating anywhere below the waist, and fourth base or home base is having sexual intercourse. Wow.
I'm so proud of me that I got that right. And the only reason I know that is because Saved by the Bell and like little shows like that. That's the type of terminology that our Anglo-Saxon audience would know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you are. I should have Googled it when I was reading it, but I was just like, huh? What is third and fourth? I just thought there was first and second.
Okay. I'm going to bring the guys in here and see if they know. Okay. I'm curious.
All right. I'm going to continue reading while you do that.
Okay.
After we broke up, it was super hard for me to let go or heal, even though I wasn't even in love and knew he wasn't the one for me. I think because even third base created an emotional, physical attachment that I wasn't expecting. But I'm grateful for the experience because it taught me what I really want in a relationship and in a person. But because of this and how I've really come to value commitment, devotion, trust, sexual union, monogamy, and marriage, I have been contemplating if I should wait until marriage. I know you guys have talked a lot about this topic in your previous podcasts, but as someone who is not religious, I would like to know why waiting until marriage might be important. What are the pros and are there any cons? I go back and forth between waiting until marriage and waiting until commitment and love because I am, number one, scared I may regret waiting for some reason. Number two, I don't want to rush marriage just because I'm waiting, which takes a lot of discipline, especially since I'm very affectionate. And number three, if I do get married after a year or so, wonder if it is unrealistic financially. Do you want me to continue reading or let them answer?
No, I think we should get through the question first. Come on in, guys. Take a seat. Take a seat over there.
All right. So I do see the pros as well I do see the pros as well, being that I know for a fact I am only sharing that experience with a soulmate husband, which is what I truly want. Know that when someone is committed and devoted to me, they aren't just doing it for sex or wanting the good, exciting parts of a relationship and not wanting. This could be an HR violation.
Yeah.
But wanting to be there for the rough patches and bad. But I also wonder if it's possible to have what I want of union with one person and not have to wait until marriage. Whatever your answer is, I would also really appreciate some advice or guidance on how to navigate this within myself and within a relationship.
All right. So real quick, we're going to take a survey from the...
We should call them the groomsmen, honorary groomsmen.
Just do a test real quick.
Do you want them to get this mic?
Okay, cool.
That mic is on?
Yeah.
Or the BELEAF in Fatherhood team.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to mute you guys for a second. Okay. So do you guys know what first base, second base, third base means in dating?
Yes.
I'm going to start with Jordan, who looks the most confused.
I think.
What is second base?
I think second base would probably be like holding hands.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now we're gonna go to.
It depends on the type of girl we're talking to.
Okay, you're canceled. Okay. James. What about you, James? What is third base? What is third base?
Third base, I would say, is kissing.
Okay.
Wow.
Physical.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Don't get canceled.
Okay. No. Brandon, what do you think second base is?
Well, look, we got to start with the end in mind. Right?
Here we go.
The end in mind.
Okay.
I would say the home run would be sex, right?
Okay. Yes.
So
Home run.
Fourth base, whatever it's
Ain't no
called.
fourth base,
So
yeah.
then working backwards. Well, when you're in the batting mound, that's probably like you just talking. You just talking.
Okay. Yeah.
So we got the whole scope right there.
Okay. Cool.
So what base you talking about?
What's second base, Brandon? What's second base?
So second base is halfway between beginning and the end.
Yeah. Okay, so what's halfway?
It's probably halfway there. You can't really get halfway. Once you start, you can't stop.
Okay,
So what?
I appreciate it. That's how Brandon answered questions. Thank you. Jed, I feel like you're familiar. I feel like you're going to be familiar with most of this. Okay, so what is second base?
Second base is making out, typically.
Okay.
I forgot what it said already.
Okay. Let me explain to you guys because this is new. Okay?
No, wait.
So when your kids,
base guy?
okay, no, we looked it up. Okay. So first base is making out. Second base is babe.
Oh, look. This is a different one.
Hold on. Listen. Listen, babe. Listen. That's when the last thing. Go to your history.
Oh, I can't because it was incognito.
Okay, so first base is making out. Second base is touching above the waist. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Third base is touching below the waist, and fourth in home is intercourse.
Right.
All right. So just that was it, guys. I just need to know if you guys
good
knew.
information. That's a good way to define it.
I'm not even playing the game. Let me tell you that. I'm not even in the game.
Jordan's over there playing tennis.
That whole different sport. All right. Sorry. That's it, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, at least I wasn't the only one that was not familiar.
Let us know, guys, if you got it right. If you knew in the comment section below, let me know if you guys figured out what first, second, third, and home was. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Oh my goodness, that is funny.
Okay, so you were saying this might be an HR violation. Was she trying to get with somebody at the job?
No, I'm saying us having a conversation with our employees about
They know what we do here.
the first through fourth base.
You like how Brandon avoided that whole conversation, man? Brandon was what? First, it's a third base coach. In the outfield. Yeah. Nah. Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to spend some time here because I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, we often do talk about waiting to have sex from the context of our faith and just, what we're cautioned to do. And so I started thinking about what are some of the benefits of waiting. You know what I mean? In a relationship until marriage. What are some of the benefits of waiting to have sex?
Okay.
Do you have some automatically that come to your mind?
Yeah, but mine goes straight to the depth, right? So it's
Okay, well, let me start then.
Okay.
Because I have some simple ones, some basic ones. First of all, apparently, I feel like we talked about this in a podcast many moons ago, but I read an article about STDs. If you don't have sex before marriage, you 100% avoid the risk of getting an STD. And apparently STDs are like wildfire.
Well,
flowers.
wait.
Flowers? Wildfires.
Wildfires. So even if you kiss somebody, you can get in herpes.
You can?
Yeah. If they got herpes and they have an outbreak, you can get herpes.
Oh.
So that's not true.
Well, it reduces the risk of an STD.
Yeah, reduces the risk. I say that.
It significantly reduces the risk of getting an STD. Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, that one just kind of whatever. That's still a good one, though.
That's still, yeah.
And then, now I do know this. You are 100% guaranteed not to have a child. Mm-hmm. If you do not have sex before marriage, then you avoid adding layers to the relationship that make the relationship more challenging. Not to say that children, so what I'm saying is okay, we have a relationship between Glenn and I, and then we start to have children, and that changes the dynamic of our relationship. Mm-hmm. And so that is something, actually, we didn't necessarily get to prepare for that. We weren't expecting to have Theo when we had him. But we did get a significant amount of time in a committed relationship together before we had children. And so what I'm saying is you avoid that layer of the relationship before you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can be more intentional in your plans to have.
And that's considering we're talking about a heterosexual relationship. Because even in homosexual relationships, there also is 100% guarantee that you're not gonna have a child.
True.
But I believe there's still reasons to wait.
Yes.
Right. But anyway, go ahead.
Those are my two, like, just basic, out the bat. These are reasons why. I know people do, like, different forms of birth control, condoms, the little thing that you can get in your thing for like 5 years. What's that called? I don't know.
But
it's a thing that women do.
How did we have Theo?
We had sex.
I know that, but I was using condoms, and you were like, no, right?
I didn't like condoms.
Right. Okay.
And then I also, no, I wasn't on birth control.
You were on birth control for Uriah. Well, before we had Uriah.
We were not. Babe, I never went back to birth control.
I know, but you had birth control.
When we first got
prescription. That I was like, why aren't you taking these?
Babe, no, we had birth control when we
after
first.
After Raya.
No. Gosh, dang it. Babe, I haven't taken birth control since like the first year of our marriage. Do you remember that?
That's not what you told me.
What?
Yeah, I remember, because I remember on an episode of Belief Fatherhood, I found your diaphragm, and they were like dates missing. They were like dates with pills in it. And
was
I'm like,
I taking birth control?
Yeah, babe. But it's okay.
I definitely wasn't taking it like after I had Theo. Wait, what? Must have been because it was Belief in Fatherhood. I have no clue. I thought I stopped taking that a long time ago. Why would I do that?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to distract you. Go ahead.
That was it. I mean, those were my two. I do have more, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about the goal, like Brandon was saying earlier. Like, if we're talking about the goal, and the goal is to be in a relationship, I believe that in an intimate relationship regarding, like trust and safety and passion, I believe that sex is a great part of that formula and can be an extreme enhancer in that. But what happens when you give that away to a man or to a woman? Essentially, you could just be used for that, and so it's really hard to know who is real and who really loves you for you or just wants to have sex with you. I remember a while ago, and I'm not gonna put this artist's name out there because I don't particularly care for him, but he was talking about how, like, he didn't want to get married because he wanted to test without, like, he didn't want to be abstinent. Like, he wanted to test it out before he married him or whatever. He was like, I got to make sure that it's good consistently. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like it's so shallow and kind of worthless. You know what I'm saying? To put someone in a position to be judged just in that way, And so in order not to run into people like that who would kind of use sex as almost like this goal line that keeps getting moved, you know what I mean? You create a covenant with this person to know that, I am safe with you. And so, what that means is, I don't know. I just think there's supposed to be a trust and a safety within the sanctity of marriage that allows you to be able to be a part of that. And if you can wait, then I think it shows self-control, which is a good indicator that someone can control their anger and can control other things in their lives. Now, I'm not saying that's the only truth and that's the only way, but I think that it shows character. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the things that I was saying as well. I feel like if you remove the layer of physical intimacy that is associated with the act of sex, then there is an element of trust that is built that allows each person to feel safe. You know what I mean? And I feel like what's necessary for sex, like being able to have sex, is a feeling of safety. Like, I can trust my body in your hands and your care, but not just my body, my heart. And so if you already have an established trust of like, man, I can trust this person with my emotions. I can trust this person with my words. I don't know. Like, I can trust this person. Then it makes it easier to be physically intimate. I don't actually know if it makes it easier, but that level of vulnerability and trust that is required for the act of sex, it's there. It's established, and it's established on things that aren't, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I too think that it starts to trusting, right? It doesn't mean that like automatically like you're gonna get married and then all of a sudden that you trust this person with your body. It just starts the process. And it's less of a rush.
It's building the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I don't know if like during my years of like not knowing the Lord, right? If I had any intention, like I probably had intentions to do well with some of the relationships I had, but I don't know if I had any solid like plan of action to marry somebody. It just was a theory. Like, yeah, I'd marry you. You know what I'm saying? Like when, like how, where, you know what I'm saying? Like it was no like I just would though. You know? And so that commitment is very shallow, you know, especially because like if you're dealing with people who are addicted to sex, right, then it's almost like they're a different being when they're involved in that nature. And it's like they're just trying to scratch an itch, fulfill a pleasure and a fantasy or passion that is just, it's like a thirst that needs to be quenched. And so once they get a taste, they don't necessarily need the commitment. They don't need you to trust them. You know what I'm saying? They just need access to your body, which if you give it away after 6 months, then we know that, and this is a lack of a better, I mean, I don't really know if this is truth, but I don't know how else to say this, but if you give it away that easy, then, and unless that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But if you give it away that easy, then it kind of speaks to how much you value it, you know?
I can see that.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of, so when I think about it as like this. Okay. I'm going to try to come to y'all with a Glenry.
No.
No. I'm just saying, like, I have an analogy that came to my mind and I'm going to share it. It's probably not going to be as profound as the ones you share, but this is what I think about it. So I am a fiend for nothing bundt cakes. I love nothing bundt cakes. When I eat them, I enjoy them. It is a very pleasurable experience, right? And it's not necessarily like something that has dire consequences, but after I eat it, I don't always feel that great.
Never.
You know what I mean? Like I have an allergy to wheat. It's too much sugar. It's like I have not an allergy. I have a sensitivity to wheat, and it's too much sugar and it's whatever. And so different things happen in my body afterwards that cause me discomfort. But the pleasure of the experience of eating the nothing bundt cake keeps me coming back for more. Like I will still go back and get a nothing bundt cake even though whatever, because that experience kind of disguises all the other issues that, you know what I'm saying, that come with eating the nothing bundt cake. And I feel like that is sometimes what sex does. It doesn't necessarily blind us to things, but it makes us pay less attention or care less about those because the experience is so satisfying in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when you remove sex from the relationship, you are able to have a sharper mind, a sharper attunement to the things that really matter and are important and that are real red flags that you should be paying attention to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That's really great, babe.
Yeah.
That was a great analogy.
I also was agreeing, I had written that down too, as far as when you wait until marriage to have sex, it's evidence of a mutual sense of self-control and discipline that are great qualities to carry into marriage. Like when you get married, it's a partnership. And there are things that are required to do in order to make life successful or what it is. And so I feel like that self-discipline that you both are able to tackle together, it's kind of like I don't know, it's like walking into marriage having already achieved, and I don't want to say that it's unsuccessful, well, achieved success. You know what I mean? Like you get to celebrate a win together. And the win is that you both had self-control and discipline to get you to the other side of marriage where you can actually enjoy this thing that is meant to be pleasurable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is another reason to wait until marriage.
Yeah. I also feel like, you know, I don't know. I can't speak for every man. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like when you please your wife or when you please a woman, it is very like satisfying and ego driven. And it's almost like it almost is like, man, well, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like you just get curious. You know what I mean? And so like I know that is something a lot of men struggle with. It's kind of like, why am I going to keep this to myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I just going to keep this here? You know what I mean? Like, you know, or it's like men are curious like that. You know what I'm saying? And so when, you know, how it's supposed to be, because I know it's plenty of people who step out on their marriages and stuff like that and do all types of shady stuff. We just had a whole episode about Derek Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, man. There's when I made the commitment to Yvette, like it is for life, regardless of sickness, health, like whatever the situation is, right? It is what it is. Like it's forever. You know what I mean? As long as I breathe, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And until death, you know, we're in this. And so I don't know if everybody takes it that seriously. So I just don't want to give our sis here false hope in saying that, well, if you wait, then you're safe. Because we don't know, you know what I'm saying, who you chose or, you know. And then like, I think for me too, I was committed to Yvette when she was like scared to have sex and only doing it out of obligation. And that was a test on me. Like that was difficult. That was a difficult season to walk through because I'm like, whoa, I ain't do nothing to you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this my story right now? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, like super difficult. And, you know, it definitely played with my head. You know what I'm saying? Can you understand that? And so, cause I, you know, I mean, I hate to say this, but my mind was kind of like, man, like I tried to honor God and Yvette in that way. And, you know, I don't know what could have happened differently. You know what I'm saying? Or like how to bring this up or why do I feel like kind of like a prisoner in this, in like sexually, you know? And so, but I was committed to Yvette, whether we was going to, if that was it, like if that was it for the rest of our lives. And, you know, Yvette had a full 180 in that area of our lives. And I thank God for that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like just listening to you talk, because she also asked, and how do I navigate, what did she say? She goes, I would also really appreciate some advice or guidance on how to navigate this within myself and within a relationship. And so I do feel like there are conversations that can be had before getting married with your person that you intend to marry. You know what I mean? That begin to explore that level of intimacy. It could be a form of education or just conversations about what they already know about their bodies or whatever. Because I was thinking about it, and one of the reasons I wrote down you should wait to be married is I was like, the sacredness of a unique connection just the two of you have. Like, it becomes fun for you to be able to learn each other's bodies in that way. If you both wait for marriage, it's a new experience for the both of you, and you get to learn each other's bodies, and those are the only bodies you will ever know, hopefully. And so, but my thing is, I don't know that was necessarily like something that was like exciting or whatever for me. Mm-hmm. And so in order to get to that point, I think there were important conversations that I needed to be having with other women, or there were books I needed to be reading in order to educate myself on what sex is. Because y'all, I didn't even know where the penis went when I got married. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some of us out there who are, I mean, like, I'm hoping that it's not like that anymore. Lord Jesus, I hope. But like, you know, like Glenn and I just had the conversation with our children with our oldest two boys about sex. And Glenn was very explicit about.
I had it once. I had the conversation once. You keep having it with the kids afterwards.
It's okay though. But like Glenn literally had to say the penis goes into the vagina. And I had one of my children tell me the other day, because I don't know how we got on.
Gosh.
Can I share this or no?
That is crazy.
Am I not allowed to say it?
Go ahead. It's crazy. Go ahead. Chocolate Baby Story Time guys. Go.
So I had one of my children say they didn't want to get married because they don't want to have to put their penis in somebody's vagina. And then that was, you know, somewhat awkward for me, but I was very proud of myself because I was like, you know, I totally understand how that can be intimidating. I'm a little bit nervous to say what I said after that, but then I was like, but it might be something you enjoy later. And Glenn like cringed when I told him that was my response.
Well, I didn't know you were going to say that one.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say the other thing.
What other thing?
Remember what the boy asked you?
Oh.
I thought you were going to say that. And we can't say that. That was crazy.
Yeah, y'all. So just be prepared when you're having those conversations with your kids. But what I'm saying is, like, that was my level of lack of knowledge. And so in order to navigate the whole waiting until marriage, I do think there is an element of understanding how sex impacts the relationship in a positive way on the other side of marriage, if that makes sense. And so there is an education that we as women need about our bodies and the act of sex. It's not, and I can't help but bring in the context of the fact that I am a believer and I grew up a Christian, but it has always, like, I think prior to my 180, I thought it was a duty. I thought sex was for the man. I didn't think it was something where I myself experienced pleasure. It didn't feel like I should be prioritized at all, even though my husband was trying to pursue me in that way. I just couldn't open myself up to let him do that.
Yeah, you were very tense.
Yeah.
It was like you were like preparing for a car crash or something.
Yeah. For me, sex was always associated with shame up until marriage. But then it was like after marriage, you're just supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Like it was just this weird thing. And so I think one of the ways to navigate the situation or to protect your heart and your mind in preparation for sex in marriage is to have those conversations. There are like sex therapists out there right now. If you have a traumatic experience where maybe you've experienced a sexual related trauma, then try to work through that, because that stuff does show up in your marriage bed later on. Mm-hmm. So like there's just certain things. Find trusted women that you know like some women don't have a healthy perspective of marriage, but definitely make sure it's somebody who has, I don't know how you know that until you know, a healthy sex life and perspective of marriage, or just wisdom that is valuable for you. And I think that is possible in and out of the church.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking too that we can't tell you your why.
Yeah. And that is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think what's going to happen is like someone is going to say, you're going to say, hey, I don't want to have sex until I'm married, but I do want to be with you. Right. And they're going to go, okay, why? Are you like a Christian or something like that? No. Oh, do you like abstain for any religious reasons? Nah. I just feel like I just want to save that for. And I think without a deep why, men see that as a challenge. I'm so sorry. Like men are kind of like,
oh, you're going to change your mind when I'm done with you.
And what was your longest relationship? 6 months? I could do a 8-month bid. I could do 12 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So, sis, we can't tell you why. You know what I'm saying? We have our own reasons. Our reasons, were faith reasons. But I think that it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, finding someone who respects that, I think that is where the challenge is. It's just finding someone who's just going to respect your decision and honor you there and, choose with you. You know what I mean? But you might find yourself dating most men who are in faith, in some sort of faith. Right?
True.
Because I think all the men on some of the men on our team like waited till marriage as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah.
How married are you, my love?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
So last night we were in.
Did we tell the story of BJ's here? Okay, go ahead.
So last night I don't think we did. We were sitting in bed and I was trying to guess what Yvette wanted because she was saying, I want something. And I was like, what is it? And I was trying to guess. And she came up with the most crazy thing. I was like, what? You want that? And then so she was like, yeah, that's what I want right now. And I thought she was just saying that's what she wanted. So she goes,
I said it.
It was like.
No. I said it. And then you were still laying there.
Yeah, it was like probably like 8:50 or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I want a 6-piece chicken nugget from McDonald's.
With sweet and sour sauce.
You said sweet and sour sauce? And I just was like, oh, I would have never guessed that. And just kind of sat there.
And then like lay there and I was like, are you really not going to go to McDonald's right now?
Are you really not going to go to McDonald's right now? And I was thinking like, you want me to go to McDonald's right now and go get you a 6-piece? Because that's a pregnancy run.
Yeah.
That is a pregnancy craving. And
I am
just
not
like,
pregnant though.
Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. I haven't done that in a minute where you just kind of like, hey, I want this. And I just go and bring it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because usually like you just make do with what's home.
Yeah.
But for the past, I think maybe 48 hours, I watched you makeshift so many sandwiches and things in the fridge. Like you just were putting together all types of stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she probably needs something else."
I need to go grocery shopping, but yeah, I'll make do. Like y'all, we can eat something from here.
Yeah. All right, and babe, how married are you?
I'm so married that this morning Glenn called me. He's like, "Babe, I need you to stop by the ATM machine and get money." Apparently, I was taking too long because I was literally like almost here, and he's like, "Never mind, I'm gonna go and do it. It's right there's an ATM right here." Then I park my car right here at our building, and he calls me. He's like, "Babe, where you at?" He's like, "I messed up."
I forgot my wallet.
And he forgot his wallet. And so I was like, well, use Apple Pay. He's like, well, they won't give me cash back with Apple Pay. And I'm like, that's baloney. Somebody is tripping. So anyways, I went, I parked, and then I just went back into drive, and I drove to the gas station. I get out of the car, And I go in and I'm like, okay, well, I'll get some gum because we're recording the podcast later, and I'll get a 5-hour energy drink, and then I'll get some cash back from this. I get up to the cash register and I asked this lady, hey, can I get cash back? And she was like, no, we don't do cash back. But she was very rude. And I'm not going to say nothing, but her skin color was different than mine. And I felt like there was this like, because I watched her interact with the person in front of me, and then I watched her interact with me. But then I was like, oh, okay, then I changed my mind. I don't need it. I just need cash back. And she goes, shh, and wipes everything off the
What gas station was that?
and gives me an attitude.
You gotta tell me which one.
Okay. And
The 78?
the 76
Oh, the 76?
gas station across diagonal from Starbucks.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was like rude. So that already was like a negative interaction that I
While
had.
doing me a favor.
Yeah, I was like, I just got where I was supposed to be. I was prepared to do what I needed to do for him before I got to where I needed to be, and then it just whatever. So anywho, I drive. I figured I'll just follow the loop to get me back to the office, and I found an ATM, but I had to get out of the car again. You know what I'm saying? So I got out of the car twice for you. And
Wait. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm curious to know.
Okay.
And I already know what they're going to say.
What?
'Cause they some haters. The wedding party. Who's more married? Who's more married? The trip from the bed. Now, mind you, I was in the bed under the covers. Out to go
We
McDonald's.
don't do this here.
Hold on.
No.
I need to know.
No. We don't do this here. We don't weigh how
I
married
just
are
want to
you.
know. I just want to. I know they're not going to agree with me anyway, but I need to know. In a trip to McDonald's, in the middle of the night, all the kids are asleep. All right, you hear me?
But we don't do this. That is not the nature of this exercise. Stop it.
She chose the gas station
Babe.
and had the experience with the lady. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Who's more married, Glenn or Yvette? Please put it in the poll in the comment section below. We got you. Love y'all. And that's just how married we are.
We are.